And it is 7 o'clock and we are on. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Every Point's a Winner. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to try and give you the best call available off the free-to-air TV, which is just about 20 metres behind me, or in front of me here, but behind the three computers. This one's taking the YouTube stream. Then we have the players' team lists just here, and then the smaller MacBook is recording the audio in case something goes ballistically wrong with the audio. So, welcome aboard. Who are you tipping? You're tipping Melbourne to strike some vengeance on not winning last year's grand final against the Penny Panthers. I think no matter what happens to the Broncos, whether they win or lose this one, they've already achieved greatness this year in knocking out the Penny Panthers, who came from 7th position, but were also last at about the 10th or 11th week into the round. The early part of the rounds, they were dead last. So as I said, an achievement definitely reached from Madge and the boys of the Broncos, because they not only knocked out the Penny Panthers, they also knocked out the Canberra Raiders. So that was a big plus, who had won the minor premiership. Yes, they had a few decisions definitely be advantaged their way, but I blame Canberra for taking their foot off the accelerator in that game. And they were playing toward the clock instead of just trying to score more tries. And you do that to a side like Broncos, who are hungry and seeking vengeance, and you do it at your own peril. So we're going to go through the matchups very shortly. I might give you the prices after we do the matchups. We'll do the matchups first, and then we'll do the prices on the TAB, what the anytime try scorers are playing. As you know, through the 27 rounds plus the final series, we've done really well with anytime try scorers. After having a treble taken off in that last match, we had Tamika Upton, we had Jada Ferguson, and we had it all up Robinson. Now, Robinson looked like she scored a fair try, Julia Robinson, and it was taken off her, and the TAB absconded away with $30 out of the ePause account. So I just couldn't be bothered having any parlays here. I had 5 different try scorers just to make it entertaining. We'll go through them, and I'll also give you the odds of the other players once we do the matchups. We are approximately 27 minutes away from kickoff, so let's do the matchups next. Thanks for joining us here on Every Point's a Winner. Scotty is at the game, seemingly, out at Accor Stadium with his sister Samantha and her young son. Number 1 is Ryan Pappenhausen for Melbourne Storm, up against number 1, Reece Walsh, who's at super status at the moment, star super status. Number 2 for Melbourne Storm, Will Warbrick, and he's up against a guy that hasn't quite got the experience of Will Warbrick in final football, Josiah Karapani. Had a reasonable game last week, though, however, in knocking out the Penny Panthers with Katoni Staggs. Now, he's the player that I think will excel in this type of game, high-pressure game, especially if he gets any space. He's been an absolute monster through this final series. And as for the entertainment for Sydney, I've seen it all. For Sydney, I've seen it all. I don't even know who this guy is, and I don't really care to know. He's got about 1,000 tats over him. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but um, the music these days, well, as long as you're brainwashed and you're happy, um, I'd rather go back to even back to the 90s and 80s and 70s. Anyway, that's a personal point of view. Anyway, let's go through these rest of these players. So we're up to Jack Howarth up against Katoni Stagg, and we've got a underline on his name. Nick Meaney, number 4 for Melbourne Storm. He's also the goal kicker for Melbourne Storm, and he's up against number 4 Brisbane Broncos. Then for Melbourne, Xavier Kent against another very, very fast player in the, and looking at number 6 here for Melbourne, it's Cameron Munster. He's a key to this side as well. But really, if Harry Grant plays well, if Jerome Hughes can stay out of any sort of injury trouble or injury threat, I'm sure if I was the big forwards, I'd be lining up to try and take Jerome Hughes out of the game, which could discombobulate the whole side. That's what I'd be doing if I was any of those big forwards like Smoothie, Corey Pugs, Corey Jensen, Payne Huss, Brendan Piakura. We've had them as try scorers before. Jordan Ricky with the headgear. Patrick Carrigan, he's back after a week's absence after that high shot. So we are up to number 7, Jerome Hughes from Melbourne, up against Adam Reynolds. Kicked that winning goal last week out of the comp. Forwards, Stefano Utokomano. Now, we've had a little sneaky on Stefano to score, only because he was really juicy odds. And he had a lethal game last week against Cronulla and virtually single-handedly drew in about 4 players, popped the ball to Jerome Hughes, and Jerome Hughes ran the rest of the way to put the sword straight through Cronulla there. Then we have, he's up against Corey Jensen, who's a pretty solid defender too. Corey Pikes usually plays a dummy half there. Corey Pikes, number 9, up against legend Australian representative Harry Grant. Also Josh King, number 10 for Melbourne Storm, up against number 10 Payne Haas, having the season to remember, especially after last week's game. He was phenomenal. Sean Blaw, number 11, up against number 11 Brendan Piakura. So Sean Blaw for Melbourne, up against Brendan Piakura. That's a good matchup, both solid men. And this is a really interesting matchup here. Elise Katoa, number 12 for Melbourne, up against Jordan Ricky. And Jordan Ricky, number 12 for the Broncos. And usually, of late, he's been wearing a headgear for protection. He does a lot of defence as well, so you can see why he's wearing that. Number 13, Trent Liero. When he's on song, Trent, the whole Melbourne team left. But that's the same with Elise Katoa as well, if he's getting enough ball in the air. Well, Trent Liero's up against Patrick Carrigan. And, of course, Patrick Carrigan has given the captaincy back to Adam Reynolds. And then we have the interchange bench. Tyron Wishart from Melbourne, number 14. Number 14, we've had a sneaky on. It's Ezra Mann. I think he's been improving with his games back after the last 2 or 3 weeks. He's definitely finally getting it back. He played a little bit aggressively last week. If he can iron that out of his game and just worry about making a clean break, well, I think he's the player that could cause a boil over and could be a linchpin to the game being turned on its head at some stage. that was my early prediction when we did the preview program with Scott on Wednesday. Scotty Pearce-McLeod. Kobe Hetherington is number 15. He's been playing really well of late. Now, the guy we stood out last week, Ativalu Lasardi, he went over the week before, but he didn't go over last week at good odds. He looked close, like he was going over a few times, but was held up. Tui Tamakamika is number 16 for Melbourne, up against the try scorer that caused havoc when he came on last week, number 16, Xavier Willison. Number 17 from Broncos is Tyson Smoothie. Number 17. I'm just looking at the stage outfit of this guy. And that's the best we can do. Oh, I'm just shaking my head. I'm sure if any of you parents are watching that, you really wouldn't want your son and daughter to be tattooed all over their face. Unless they're from Māori or they're Maoris or from Pacific Islands, different story, but it doesn't look good on him. And it's all over your face. Like, nothing wrong with personal identity, but it doesn't make him like him anymore. Anyway, that's my personal opinion, and I'll keep it to myself. Even though I'm mentioning it here, I just think it's what this is the best we can do for an NRL grand final show. Is this guy something Rivers? Someone swimming in the river? Some Johnny River or Johnny Swimmer? That'll do, mate. Okay, moving back to the interchange bench here, we had Big Tui Kamika. He causes some damage in the middle there up against Xavier. And then we have number 17, last but not least, Alec McDonald. Sometimes he can be a little bit clumsy, Alec McDonald. He is at number 17 and number 17 for the Broncos. He's got a little bit of in this photo, he looks a little bit like Ben Hunt, but a little bit rougher and bigger. Tyson Smoothie there, number 17. And the reserves, Jesse Arthurs in 18 and Joe Chen 20. Grant Anderson 18 and Jack Growalski is number 19. Now, they may not come into play unless there's a double knockout on the HIA at some stage through the match. Now, as we said before, Chris Sutton is your touch judge. Dave Munro is your other touch judge. Ashley Klein in the bunker. So he's the bunker front, the main bunker front. And Grant Atkins, who had an outstanding game and let the game flow last week, is your main referee for today. Now he's put on a different outfit. Like he's wearing some sort of medieval dress. Oh, well, hopefully you're enjoying it, Scotty. He looks like some retired Viking, this dude, but sort of camped up Viking. Anyway, let's go through the value on the TAB, and we'll talk just before the kickoff. We're not too far away from a kickoff. We're about 15 minutes away, in fact. So we'll go over these prices. Now, Xavier Coates is holding firm here at $1.95 for ATTS, anytime try scorer. ATTS $1.95 there on the TAB. Will Warbrick at $2.25. Now, he scored his last 3 matches. And then you go out to Reece Walsh, who didn't score last match, but scored in the 3 or 4 matches prior to that, $2.40. We had a small saver on him. Josiah Karapani, I thought there was a couple of weaknesses with his game. He did a couple of good hit-ups for Brisbane last week, but I thought there were some weaknesses in some of the reads of the defence. So hopefully Mads Maguire's worked on that. Otherwise, it could be exploited by players like Munster and Harry Grant and some of the flankers out there from Melbourne. Then we have Dean Mariner at 250. That's probably good, succulent odds there for Dean Mariner. A prolific try scorer. He went over his last two matches. Ryan Pappenhausen slowly getting back into form. He scored last time from a beautiful Munster kick against Cronulla in the prelim. 250. Katoni Staggs. He only missed one try 3 games ago. He scored his last 2, and he's still good value. So we had a go at him as well at 250. Elise Katoa, he's been so good to us throughout the year. Although he didn't score for us last week, and we really needed him to, we gave him one more chance here at the juicy odds of 275 for someone who's a prolific try scorer. Gemut Shibasaki, I did entertain him at 325 purely for the value. Gemut Shibasaki, 325. Jerome Hughes, well, you take him on trust, don't you? He's got his shoulder issue. Both of the shoulder and the arm need surgery after the competition is over. So you take him on trust whether one of these big forwards are going to come in and slam him in a 3-man tackle and try and take him out of the match. I mean, it happened with Ellery Hanley and Terry Lamb. He hit him with a head eye in the first 10 minutes of the match, or the first couple of minutes of the match, and it changed the whole complexity of that game, thanks to Terry Lamb. Now, so that's what I would be saying, that 4-1 looks juicy, but I don't think he's going to get the pass that Stefano Utokomano gave him last week that sent him into an amazing yawning gap. Then we have Harry Grant at 450. He let us down last week. He hasn't scored for the last 3 matches, but scored prior to that and the 4 matches ago. Nick Meaney scored 3 matches ago. Didn't score the last 2. He's 450. Ezra Mann, I did have a little tickle at. He scored 3 matches ago, but didn't score the last 2. He was 450. Cameron Munster, I entertained 475, but you can't put too many try scorers in there. Jack Howard, 475. Tyron Wishart, 7-1. Not bad value for a super subby in Tyron Wishart, number 14. Adam Reynolds, 750. He hasn't gone over for about 4 matches. And so you really got to take him on trust. He's been battling injuries on and off all season. Ben Hunt hasn't gone over forever and a day. And I had a little vision of Ben Hunt scoring. I don't know why I didn't have a little sneaky bet on him here at 750. And also good value, who we backed last week. We backed him for the last 2 weeks, Brendan Percura. 3 weeks ago he scores. We've had him for the last 2 weeks and he didn't show up. And, of course, it was the big fella, number 16, Xavier Willison, who came back and scored that very important try to the Broncos last weekend. Now, then we have Payne Haas at 8. If you like Payne Haas, he hasn't scored for the last 3 matches. He was mightily close the last 2 matches of going over. But what he did off the ball as well was amazing. His defence. Still, to me, there's that query with his foot. He's definitely been battling a foot injury over the last 2 or 3 games. So you really have to take him on trust there. But you're going to get the odds that you're looking for, surely. Then you can go out as wide as Jordan Ricky at 8-1. He hasn't scored for about four matches. Sean Bloor scored 2 matches ago. He's 9-1. I did half entertain him. Xavier Willison scored last time, as we know, and you probably would have got 13-1 about Xavier last time. This time he's only 10-1. Ativalu Lasardi, who we did play last time, is 12-1. He did score 2 matches ago, but failed to score for us last week. Stefano Tokamana hasn't scored forever and a day. I just put him in there for a specky bet at 13-1. I thought it was good value. Trent Liera's 13s, King 13s, Corey Pike's 13s, Patrick Carrigan 14s. These are all non-try scorers, or guys that haven't scored for 3 or 4 pages here. 15-1, Kamaka, same with Smoothie, Alec McDonald, Corey Jensen 17s. And Kobe Hetherington did score 5 matches ago. And if you ever want value for Kobe Hetherington and you're a Brisbane fan today, depends, of course, how much time these subbies get and how much you're willing to risk. But Kobe Hetherington is at 19-1 to score anytime try scorer. So there you have it. You have your prolific try scorers ranging from your odds on $1.95 Coates out to your wingers. Warbrick at 225, Mariner 250. He's the best of those three for value. Then Pappy, your fullbacks, Walsh 240, Pappy 250. Stags in the centres there 250. Elise Katoa just off the ruck at 275. And your other centre there for Broncos 325. There's probably the best value outside of them in Gemma Shibasaki. And then you've heard the rest of the odds. So it's write your own ticket, and even the halves, both for Broncos and are both like 7-1. And all your forwards, you've already heard me go through those. So we're not too far off a kickoff. Thanks for joining us here on Every Point's a Winner. And we are approximately 8 minutes from a kickoff. They're just showing the replay of Reynolds kicking them into the grand final with the really hard conversion from the sideline of that Dean Mariner try. So, how did you go on the ladies today? Did you watch the ladies? If you wanted to hear back a replay of the ladies, we have it here on our archives. So if you remember, Larry Phillips. Okay, let's hear it from Larry. Hello. The prognosticator. Well, I have no invested interest in this game apart from I'm sick of tipping Melbourne when they lose the grand final. So I think Broncos deserve to win it if anything. But what do you think? And you hope they bash the shit out of each other? Yeah. Well, fair enough. You got any try scorers there?
I went 1, 2, 8 left. And then with the 2 fullbacks to score, Pappy and Walsh. And then the other bet was under 42. I thought the defensive was pretty good. Usually don't run away. Big force around line. So under 42, and then Katoa to score. And
Elise Katoa, yeah.
Good timing.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Good. Well, broadcasting on Every Point's a Winner, so we're going to call the game live. So if you just go to my webpage, you can turn the volume down of the Gooseberry Nips on Channel 9, and you can hear the free-to-air call. Well, I'm calling. I've been calling the whole series, mate. We've had over a couple of thousand viewers. Yeah. So you're okay apart from that? I'm going to give you a call if not tomorrow afternoon. Whenever you're free, I'll text you, and if you're not free, I'll call you later. Yeah, and we'll have a proper talk because I'm on here now, so I better keep on going with the preview. Thank you, buddy. Hope you're listening. See you, mate. Love you, mate. Bye. Bye. And that's brotherly love. calling with his tips. You heard them. He wants Katoni Staggs, as much as we all do, to go over with Elise Katoa. And that's one of his doubles anyway. The boys are in the sheds, and it looks like, yet again, Broncos are going to be wearing the white strip. Because Melbourne finished in front of them, isn't that interesting that they can wear their original purple Guernseys here? It's flashing from the helicopter view. If it wasn't a helicopter view, it was a drone, but it looks beautiful, the ground, the Accor Stadium. And we're only a few minutes off the call here, ladies and gentlemen. And they're doing some sort of little prayer there. And there's the legends themselves on TV. A guy that wasn't interested in Lockie Galvin and virtually half crucified Canterbury, but that was my point of view. You might think differently, that Canterbury succeeded and a lot further than they would have went. I don't know. So, but anyway, it is what it is. And there is the trophy, Telstra trophy, been put on at the side of the where they have the presentation. And now that Melbourne just doing all in some sort of semi-satanic circle, really psyching into the game. Reynolds throwing water over his head, trying to freshen himself up. There's Katoni Staggs. We're not long off for kickoff, ladies and gentlemen, of the 2025. We had 27 rounds to get here. A very tough semi-final and preliminary final series. So we are here to find out who is the best side of 2025. Adam Reynolds about to lead the Brisbane Broncos out there. Right now, I reckon Scotty, our other broadcaster here at Every Point's a Winner, who's out of the game, will be on cloud nine, just waiting for the Broncos to be brought out. Here they are. Out they come. Adam Reynolds runs out. And there is number 16 running on for the Broncos as well. And that is Xavier Willison. We're waiting for the Melbourne side to come out secondly. If you're talking on the chat here, please remember that I really can't take my eyes off the free-to-air TV because I'm only calling what the cameras are showing here. I haven't got my binoculars, which I usually use for the races or going out to live sporting events and calling them so I can see the action closely. I've got no one in my headphones. All I can hear is my own voice being recorded through the audio, the MacBook Pro. And on comes the Melbourne Storm with their yellow numbering system. It should be a little bit easier to spot, providing the cameras are close enough as they run through the purple, the deep purple banner. And there's number 13, Trent the Arrow. There is Harry Grant. Hasn't put his headgear on yet, nor has Jerome Hughes. There's number 11 for Melbourne Storm and Sean Bloor. And there is Munster. Will he have a big key role in shutting down the middle or setting some players through the middle? They're going to wait, obviously, for the national anthem. There's Carrigan with his arm around Reece Walsh. Next to him, Ezra Mann and Karapani. And now gathered in their line, Munster next to Hughes. A lot of adrenaline pumping through their veins at the moment. And I'll definitely give you a call back tomorrow, Lazadita. If not tomorrow, the next day when I'm back at the office prison. Yeah, it's hard to talk on air when people can't hear what you're talking about as well. So they're just waiting for the national anthem. And of course, they'll do Welcome to Country first with Auntie Julie. Cheers, Auntie Julie. May the best side win. And that looks nice with all the Aboriginal painting coming through AI and the CGI graphics. Which player is going to stand up here? There's enough superstars to form in both of these sides to form a great solo single state of origin side, or even a side that could represent Australia, of course. But a lot of these gents will be supporting their own country, of course, their country of origin in Samoa and the boys from the South Pacific. So good on them as well. So Conrad Sewell is singing the national anthem, wearing a black suit, got all her hair spiked. And we are only a few minutes off here, even less than a minute and a half, as the players are singing along to the anthem. Ben Hunt looking pretty psyched. Melbourne. There is looks like Liera. There's Wishart, Howarth, Yutokamana. Next to him, Manny and Josh King. So we're not too far away. Thanks for joining us here on Every Pod's a Winner. It looks like they're calling for the ball, Broncos, so they will be kicking off, I'd imagine. In go the mouth guards, Reece Walsh. There's Ben Hunt on the screen. We're not far away. They're just trying to grab attention. Having one little photo there, Grant Atkins looking over. Once his touch judges go into the side and they'll check the microphones, make sure they're okay. Oh, they're doing a little bit of a warm-up. It's a tiny little passing warm-up, the Broncos here. And Melbourne are doing the same thing. Trying to keep those muscles nice and warm. We're not far off a break. The green light's not quite through to the control tower yet, and nor is the bunny set in motion. There's a couple of good races last night at Wentworth Park. There's a big series, $1 million series that's going on. And the Wrecker from Melbourne had brought up some really good dogs. There's a dog from Western Australia that qualified. I think there's about 10 heats, and there'll be semi-finals on Thursday. Not that I'm playing the dogs much anymore, but I did have a very tiny career as an assistant dog handler, and I really, really enjoyed it for a while. There's Katoni Staggs barking some crazy orders there with Carrigan and Adam Reynolds having the last bits of Gatorade and some water. There's Utokamano, Stefano, expecting a big game from him today. The way he stands up and tackles and gets the ball away like an Arthur Beetson. There's Big Payne Haas. And also there for Broncos, Corey Jensen, number 8. Wonder if Ricky's going to be wearing his headgear tonight, number 12 for the Broncos. We're just waiting on the kickoff. Here we go. 2, 3. Kickoff. Melbourne, kick it down to Brisbane. Brisbane on your camera are now running left to right. and Carrigan's straddling someone there in a dummy half. Katoni Staggs has a run, 13 metres out from their own line. And it looks like Ricky is not wearing his headgear tonight. It's interesting. Was that Corey? That's Corey Pikes. Now, good run from Payne Haas. Big tackle from Melbourne here. But of course, they've given away a penalty. Harry Grant not happy with that one. Cheap penalty is going to give Broncos some good field position here. They're just outside their red zone, the Broncos. I don't know. I don't know what Harry Grant had to do there. But anyway, they've taken the tap. And a big run down there. It looks like Shibasaki. Gilmart. Number 8 taking it down there is Corey Jensen. To the 40-metre mark now. Broncos spinning it out wide here. Nearly broke through, but Munster grabbed him. They're 40 metres out. And that was Reece Walsh too. Oh, big hit on Carrigan, driven in by Harry Grant. Great tackle on Carrigan. And now an inside pass coming through the middle. Is that Staggs? No, that's Brennan Peakura. And now Huss, 10 metres out from the line on the 4th tackle. They keep on going at the neck here. Nice and wide, the Broncos. Reece Walsh comes into the line, passes it out, and there'll be a try straight away to Dean Mariner. Has he gone out over the dead line there? I don't think so. It's going to be the first try to Dean Mariner. I did tell you that he was good value there at 250, and that was a set play. We'll have to confirm the try. I think it is. Doesn't seem to be anything untoward. I just want to know whether he kept his feet inside that dead ball line as he moved around here. Just here. There. Yeah, I think he stayed in. Bit of magic there from Dean Mariner with a crazy sidestep. There. Ooh. Yeah, and he's pointed down. Let's have a look at this. This is what I was thinking. No? There. Did he catch the white chalk? I think Harry Grant's pointing it out. We're soon going to wait whether they're going to look at it, if the bunker has a look at it. We're just waiting on the try confirm. They're going to have another look, I think. Oh, who came up? Was that Howard? Howard tried to knock him out. It was an awful attempt to tackle on Dean Mariner. And Sean Bloor just ran into someone else there. Oh, it's actually Utokamano. Well, it must have been confirmed, this try, I would imagine. Even Hughes is pointing that he nearly ran out of the dead ball line, but it's been must have been confirmed because they're still waiting there at 4-0. Are they waiting for it or not? Or we're still waiting for something here? Try confirmed. Now he can go for it. It must have been awfully close to putting his foot on the paint there. But Dean Mariner, it was a set play. Someone tried to come up and take Reece Walsh into the next universe, and it worked in their favour. Created a bit of an overlap as Walsh got the ball out to Mariner. And as I said, out of all the wingers, he was probably the best value, being a prolific try scorer at 250. So hopefully you listen to me. Although we didn't have him, we've had 5 other chances to go over. He would have been my next option as far as putting him into some 2- and 3-leg parlays. We're just waiting for the kickoff as the commercial TV make their money. And so far, Broncos have a 6-0 lead. Kickoff to the Broncos, picked up there by Trent Liero. And now with the balls at Katoni Staggs on the edge of his own 20, the red zone. And having a run up there's Patrick Carrigan with his little ponytail bob. Not quite to the 30 now, the Broncos. Is that a nice run there from Katoni Staggs? Lovely. There he is. Jordan Ricky on with his headgear. Nice big kick from either Reynolds. We couldn't see who kicked it from this distance. But Melbourne have the ball back on their 20 on the first tackle. Good solid defence from the Broncos here. And Payne Haas coming in hard there with Ricky. Carrigan comes in to help Corey Jensen out with a nice tackle. And there is Hunt making a tackle himself. They're just over the 40, not quite to the halfway. And that is the 5th on halfway. They're going to have to rely on Munster or who are they using here? Jerome Hughes has gone for a big, big kick back in towards the corner post. But picked up here by the young kid, Karapani. And now, with a run, they're about 20 metres out from their own line, just out of their own red zone, heading down towards the 30, inside their own half, with Katoni Staggs with those luminous yellow boots. Payne Haas with a big run, but a nice tackle by number 12 there in Elise Katoa. Oh, they've knocked the ball on there, Broncos. Looks like Shibasaki might have put it down. He's complaining about something, Shibasaki. You make out what you will of that. There's hands all over that ball. We'll see what the officialdom reckon. Who's going to get this feed? Is it Melbourne? Yep, Melbourne's going to get the feed with Jerome Hughes. So in a fairly good position here, Melbourne, to strike back. And a big, big run there from Stefano Utokomano. This time he's finally put to the ground on the 30-metre mark, 30 metres out from Broncos try line. Melbourne would like to hit back the favourites here. The narrow favourites, may I say. And nice work from Hughes. Gets out to one of the centres there and running through. Is that Elise Katoa or is that Howarth? I think it's Howarth. Well, it's Nick Meaney. Number 4. Ran at a nice angle. Yeah, it's Nick Meaney's gone over. It was really, really good fast hands by Jerome Hughes. Well, that's been practiced a few times. There was a second phase there. And he ran back at a really weird angle, and it looks like Reece Walsh has totally missed him there. Here's the run, Pappy. Meaney spots that gap and runs inside the shoulder of a diving Reece Walsh, who was totally misread that. And Payne Haas couldn't stop him. And Nick Meaney goes over for the Melbourne Storm. Really nice fast hands by Hughes and Pappenhausen to give it to Meaney, and then Meaney runs back at that weird angle and goes over. So a hit back and a nice fast hit back from Melbourne. As I said, that decision was really important to go their way. That was stripped out of the ball was stripped. Can he make it 6-all here? Not the easiest of kicks, but certainly not the hardest, about 15 metres in. And he's just got this, just went inside the post. It's 6-all here on the last day of the NRL. It's been a fairly long season because it's been so hard to tip winners, number one. It's been such an even, balanced competition, and even the finals haven't been easy to pick. And this one is no different. 6-all. A try to Nick Meaney, running back at a really interesting angle. We haven't seen that much of Meaney of late. As I said, he scored about 3 or 4 games ago. You could have picked up, I think he was around about 3-1 there, maybe 275. But a good run from Melbourne here, and just ankle tapped by Tony Staggs. They're making solid ground here, Melbourne. Have they grown a leg since that try? Pappenhausen down to the 40, trying to reach halfway here. Nice hands again. This time out to Will Warbrick, and Warbrick's caught just before halfway there by Shibasaki. Now over halfway now. A nice little jinking run there by Katoa. Pushed onwards. And a big kick up here towards the 10-metre mark, but taken beautifully by Walsh. Is it Walsh? He's taken it superbly. Tackled by Munster. And Shibasaki goes for a hit up. Good defence here from Melbourne if they can keep them back in their own half. It's like Karapani. Someone tried to go for a little bit of a run there. Camera's too far away. And now Broncos nearly getting to the 40-metre mark. It's Corey Jensen. Awful pass at a dummy half by Hunt. And now someone's cleaned up with a kick, and it's just perfectly weighted. And now Xavier Coates will... Oh, Xavier Coates, welcome with a don't argue party. What a tackle. But he's given a penalty away. Corey Jensen hit him like a freight train. Him and Carrigan. Bang! What's this? Oh! Got him in the head a little bit, Carrigan. He's going to have to be careful. He had time in the bin last game. So the last time he played anyway. And then he had to serve some time. So Melbourne with more advantage. Penalties 1 apiece, but they're making it easier for Melbourne. And Melbourne have got their backup after that try by Nick Meaney. Big run there by Josh King. Tried to swivel him round Corey Jensen. Just over halfway here. Nice little jinking run there. Is that Katoa? Who was that? It was Trent Liero. What a run. Now as they spin it out, there is Katoa. And he's got it out to Nick Meaney again. Nick Meaney to the 20. Just on the edge of the red zone on the 4th tackle. Josh King got a beautiful ball away after his tackle. And they're spinning it wide here. Howarth, nowhere to go though. Ran straight into Adam Reynolds. Now he's kicked for the wing here. Who's he looking for? Coates, I'd imagine. Nick knocked back inside. And the decision's gone to, a penalty's gone to Melbourne. I don't know whether they're going to take the 2 points. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. If they do, it's white. It's right out on the flanks. It's not going to be an easy kick. It's 6-all. Yeah, they've taken the tap. And Melbourne are pressing the 10-metre line here. Harry Grant. Big run by King. Hughes tries to throw a dummy to Liero. It didn't quite pay off. It was well read by Carrigan. 6 more. Melbourne. Pressing the line here, 7 metres out from the Broncos line. Harry Grant. Big Katoa reaching for the line. He's 3 metres away. They're going to spin it here. Munster. 6 again. Munster nearly scored himself. He's 3 metres out from the line. Harry Grant trying to go from dummy half. If I was Pappy, I'd go the opposite way. That's the way. Watch out for the intercept, though. Nice kick, Katoa through, and Katoa scores. Elise Katoa with an amazing try. Larry Phillips will be happy, and so will the Axeman. And a beautiful little chip through, and Elise Katoa scores one of his regulation tries throughout 2025. Was it Hughes who put the kick in? Yeah, he knew. They've scored countless amount of tries like that, those two, with the little chip through, and Elise Katoa is jumping on the loose ball. Here it is. It was a race between him and Shibasaki, and bang. Although Reynolds, it looked like Shibasaki or Karapani nearly got his hand to it. It was the two hands placed down of Katoa that scored that try. Well, they've got out to a little bit of a lead here. There's a lot of Melbourne fans in the audience that have come up from Melbourne. And Elise Katoa. I'm just looking at it here. It's 10-6. This is similar to his previous kick. So I think Maney will score here. Ooh, I think it just shaved inside the upright. I'm not 100% sure. Let's have a quick look and see if that went over. It was exactly like the last kick. Just while the adverts play. Yeah, 12-6, it did go over. Just shaved inside the post. But Nick Meaney on the 7th minute, Dean Marin on the 2nd, and Elise Katoa the 13th. Nice hit up there from Stefano Utokomano. Good run. To the 20 now. Melbourne have got their backs up for the first time in the game. Wishart is on, number 14 for Melbourne. I guess one of the other forwards might be getting the rest. And good run from straight away from Josh King. Over halfway. Geez, they're making copious amounts of ground here. They look a little bit listless, the Broncos. Hughes, with his kicking game, it's been spotted so far. A lovely take there from Karapani. He's tried to throw a little step on Munster, but Munster's got him. And now, coming off the wing there, Dean Mariner, he's about 23 metres out from their own goal line. Brisbane Broncos trying to get it down to halfway and over. And there was a run from Shibasaki as they spin it out here. Is that Adam Reynolds? Can't quite see from here. Yes, it is. And now is that Hunt putting in the kick? It's either him or Reece Walsh from a long distance over here. So we're doing the best we can. And it looks like Pappenhausen's picked it up. Pappy's nearly spotted something. Got a little bit of a high shot from Tony Staggs, but it bounced off. Now working it over the 30. That is the first run of Wishart. And now a big, big run there. Is that from Katoa? Nope, number 5, Xavier Coates. Now coming into dummy half, Harry. Munster. Hughes. Nice line out here. Looked like Pappenhausen joined in. He got thrown on his back there a little bit. And now a big kick from Sam Hughes. Katoa jumped up for it, but it looks like Broncos have knocked it on as well. They should get the feed here, Broncos, because I think Katoa touched that first. Yes, he did. And it was off Reece Walsh, so that'll be Broncos feed, and there it is. So they're now 13 metres out from their own line, Broncos. We've got 22 minutes until half time. At that time, I'll definitely be making a coffee, but we'll be coming back and going through the stats, personal stats, where the side's having issues and where it's taking advantage. We'll have a look at those after a short coffee break in the middle of the halfway presentation. All right, Broncos here, just panelling it out, but no answer to the defence so far. Good defence from Melbourne. They're on their 40. Ben Hunt tries to throw a little inside pass there. No one fell for it. They're looking a little bit tired, the Broncos. Just over the last 10 minutes, they're looking tired. Well, if you're not going to hold the ball, you're going to have a few issues. Melbourne trying to work it out of their own 10 here. And that will be Xavier Coates with a run. And now Rod Wishart's son. Tyron Wishart runs it up, nearly to the 20-metre mark. And, Warbrick slammed on his back from Carrigan and Hunt. What a tackle by those two. And another big tackle from Carrigan, but the ball was played on to Elise Katoa. Elise Katoa pops the ball out like Artie Beetson, and Hughes nearly found a mad gap. He tries to milk a penalty, Hughes, and he'll get one, I'd imagine, or another set of 6. 0 tackle, absolutely. Stefano Utokomano gave Hunt a little bit of a don't argue. Pushing the ball forward here, Melbourne. Harry Grant's got no headgear tonight. Interesting. Hughes, Munster, Pappenhausen, Coates, looking for Pappenhausen. What happened here? Is this a head eye? I don't know. Shoulder from Reece Walsh. Oh, that's a bad blue by Reece Walsh. And he's led with the shoulder. Oh, that could be 10 minutes in the bin. If there's ever going to be 10 minutes in the bin, it should be from that shot, because he could have knocked out Xavier Coates. He's on report, but not in the bin. Fair enough. Looked fairly serious to me. I'd understand if he was falling into the tackle. Well, he was to a degree. Might have been the only thing that got Reece Walsh off. But now Melbourne are pressing right on the edge of the red zone, and they're inside the red zone. Stefano Utokomano, he's bustling through. He's nearly got to the 10-metre mark here. Harry Grant. Elise Katoa trying to get a double. It's becoming too readable there. They need to try something different. Now, Hughes. Out to Pappy. Pappy to Tyron Wishart. They're still 4 metres out from the line here. Where's Big Stefano when you need him on the burst? They won't do it that way. Is that Trent Liero? Yes, it is. Harry Grant sees a gap. Now Utokomano. He needs to push through here and score. He's not going to do it that way. You need to give it to him on the burst, because he's very hard to tackle. Okay. Spinning it out wide, Melbourne. They've spotted a mad gap. And it looks like Will Warbrick has gone over. Will Warbrick looks like he scored in the corner. And although he wasn't the greatest of odds, he was like the second favourite. At least he might have put Melbourne further in front here. If you're a Melbourne fan, we wanted... Oh, the battery's very low. Hang on. We're losing power here. Okay, hang on. We need to have that plugged in. So the battery's very low there. Hang on. It's not on. Oh, it's on. Why that's saying the battery's very low. Well, it seems to be charging now anyway. Okay, let's have a look at that try again. Will Warbrick got a nice cutout pass to him. He slides into him late there, Karapani. Shibasaki can't stop it, and he clearly gets the ball down over the line. It's as good a try as you'll see for the rest of the game. It's a nice cutout pass there. I don't know how Scotty's feeling at the moment. He'll be a little bit gutted with a 10-point lead here, but it's not over. And Meany's cracked another one. Oh, he's missed it. This time it went to the left of the post. He was spinning him around. They showed it from a different angle there. I thought it went through, but no. It's just gone to the left or for his right of the post. So left from where we're viewing it anyway. So it's only a 10-point buffer. Those tries, and that's the trouble when you're scoring out in the flanks all the time. They're not easy conversions. Well, that's the first, as far as I know, that he's missed so far. And Will Warbrick puts them an extra 4 points in front. 16-6, as we've still got 17 minutes. There's a lot of time left before. We're just over halfway through this first half. We've got a lot of time to go, and I reckon there'll be a few more tries. Okay, Melbourne. Nice run there from Tokamano. There he is. He's lost the ball, though, has he? Oh, no. He's lost the ball right in the danger zone. And, yeah, it looks like Xavier. Is that Xavier Wilson? No, it's Brendan Piakura, I believe. Let's have a look. Yeah, Brendan Piakura. There is Ezra Mann looking at the camera, just on the bench. I'm sure he'll get his turn. Whether he'll get it before halftime is, I guess, optional. Now, right. Oh, they're going for a quick chip here. There's 10 minutes left. What was that? Well, they'll get the ball back because Ryan Pappenhausen had to defuse it by kicking it dead. What was that about? He has a chat with Munster here to see whether they're going to go for a short crop out here. He must have thought someone was going to fly through. I just find that strange from a off a scrum when you've got 6 tackles in front of you. I just find that really bizarre. Yeah, you get the ball back, but that's one for the mind farkers, so to speak, to reanalyse that after the game. Carrigan had the first hit up. Looks like they've got a reserve on there. We need to have a look at his number in a second. There's Pop going in there. There's Pikes. Oh, we've lost our power here. Sit on the bench. Okay. Don't know why we've lost that power there, but we continue on. Broncos pressing here. 14 minutes. They're about the 12 metres out from the line here, Broncos. Reynolds looking for options, but he finds Carrigan. We've lost our team sheet. We're just going to go off pure memory here, and Broncos spin it out. He's thrown a dummy Reece Walsh, but it was read too easily. I thought he should have went himself there. The play broke down. They're trying to spin it wide here. Big pass that didn't quite work. Reynolds or now Hunt put the little kick through. But they've caught Melbourne in their own 10-metre zone here. Pappenhausen trying to get it out to the 10-metre mark. Didn't quite work that. The pass was too far behind him. So by the time he got it, he put that second kick in, but it was all over. Anyway, running it out into the red zone here. And that is Warbrick, one of the try scorers. That looks like Alec McDonald's come on now. Let's have a look at his number. Or is it Wishart? Let's have a close look at his number. Alec's a bit bigger than him. And that might go too dead. Is it holding up? It's going to go too dead. This will be a 20-metre restart. Yeah, Munster puts his hands up. He knows that was a foul kick. But they get a chance to reset now, Melbourne, their defence line, and taking the tap right on their red zone. Haas comes off, has a breather. So there will be an extra play on there. And who is it? Yeah, it's big. Looks like it's Xavier Willison. Straight away, he has a hit up, Xavier Willison, the hero from last week. Harrigan with another big hit over the 40-metre mark. There's 7 metres out from halfway here. Hunt. Oh, gives it to, got him a little bit high there, Hughes. Is he going to get away with it? No. Piakura's got hit a little bit high from Jerome Hughes there. Eesh. It is Piakura that got hit. And he has suffered a lot of HIAs, Piakura. But he was sort of running really low to the ground. Anyway, it's a penalty to the Broncos and they get a chance to hit back here. Got to get up to the 40-metre, 20-metre mark, 20 metres out, right on the edge of the red zone. Broncos trying to fight back here. Jensen. Reynolds. Bruce Walsh came in for a run. Reynolds. Ricky. Oh, who's on the burst there? Didn't quite make it, said Xavier Willison. Yes, it is. And now a little chip through. Where's that gone? Stacks on the mill. Can't see who knocked it on. I think it might be maybe a Melbourne feed here. We've got about 11 minutes left until half time, but they're going to have a challenge, are they? Here we go. Here we go. To find why one of my central computers has died here. So mustn't be getting power to it. So where's that going? So it's plugged in. I don't know why it's not getting power. They're still having a look at this to decide what the situation is. Oh, damn. Why the hell have I lost power there? I'll have to have a look at that at half time. So I've got no run sheet down, but we'll do the best we can. So Harry Grant playing it 7 metres out from his own try line for Melbourne. Broncos are trying to keep them back here and get the ball back, but so far they don't have much of an answer for Melbourne's defence. And Katoni Staggs needs to stand up a bit more. That's a psycho run from Jerome Hughes up to the 30. And now on the 5th, Munster puts a massive kick in, but it's gone straight down to Reece Walsh. Oh, it's actually number 5, Dean Mariner, who's got the ball. I'm sure Walsh will want to have a little hit up here. He's in the dummy half. No, he's just going to go back to his position. And now running down the flank there, running into a lot of defence. And it looks like Alec McDonald is on now as well, number 17, Alec McDonald. Needs to get some trips happening there. Nice run from Xavier Willison. Is that Kobe Hetherington is on? And a giant run here. That is a psycho run from Reece Walsh, solo performance. You won't see a better try in the grand final than Reece Walsh. The way he stormed over the try line. Give it to me. No one wants it. They're all semi-offside. I'm going to burst through and score a psycho try. Well, how do you do, sir? That's an 18, that's a 20-metre run. At full speed, left, right, bang, right next to the post. That is why he's a superstar. So Liero's missed him. Utokamano has missed him. Pappenhausen's gone for a horrible tackle, a second shot. Wishart's out of position, and Alec McDonald runs into the goalpost. That'll do me. That is, mark that down as not just a turning point for Brisbane here, but single-handedly, when someone stands up, look at his possessed eyes. When someone stands up, they see a weakness. Andrew Johns could do that as well. He sees a weakness in the defence and he just paved the way through left, right, like a snake, but at high speed. That is phenomenal. And Scotty and his sister and her son will be most excited out at the ground at the moment because that's brought them back into it. I don't know why I've lost power to one of my computers here. No, still can't get the power in though. I'll have to change it over with another power supply. Okay. So with a kickoff from the Storm, they still have a 4-point lead. That was solo brilliance. From right on the edge of the red zone. What a try. If you ever want someone to stand up, you always want Reece Walsh and Katoni Staggs to stand up. Staggs has had a quiet match. He hasn't got the ball enough. But Reece Walsh single-handedly said, this is the way we're going to beat Melbourne. Even though they're 4 points behind, that's got to give him some energy. Now Staggs goes for a run. He's to the 30. Had a dummy half there. It was Hunt. Looking for runners. Kobe Hetherington's there. It's a big kick here. He's looking for a 40-20, but it hasn't got there. And that looks like Coates there. Got hit a little bit high. And he has. He definitely got hit a bit high there. So it will be a relieving penalty to Melbourne. Well, as soon as I saw it, I thought he's hit him too high. Ricky, yeah. Gordon Ricky, bang. Yeah. It's just circumstances too. Some of these players are slipping on a little bit of dew that's on the ground and they'll fall into a tackle. But anyway, onwards and upwards. We've got 7 minutes till we have our coffee and we'll come back and just before the start of the second half, have a look at all the stats, see where your team's winning it and losing it and who the top tacklers are. That is a big, big run, but big defence from Kobe Hetherington and Patrick Carrigan there. Big run by, is that Josh King? They're nearly to the 40-metre mark in the Brisbane zone. Melbourne, as they pass it out wide here. Oh, he slipped there. Alec McDonald. That was actually Wishart who slipped. McDonald's out there. And now Nick Meaney gets it to the 30. Last tackle. Big pass here. Is that Pappy? Whose kicks that? Oh, that's going to go out. But it came off. Did it come off Coates or who did it come off? I think Brisbane will get the feed here. A little bit of a stale part of the match, but what else could he do here? try and catch it. Coates. Geez, it's hard to say who that came off. It even looked like it came off Dean Mariner. No, I'd say the first hands were Coates. So that's, but somehow Melbourne have got the ball here. 2 metres out from the line. Elise Katoa. Is that him? On the burst, yes. They're looking for Stefano. Where is Stefano? Alec McDonald trying to chew up the metres. He's 4 metres out from the line here. Watch out for Harry Green at a dummy half. He's looking for runners. Oh, what an individual brilliance there from the freak of nature who's just come out of operation. Jerome Hughes has gone over. And they've gone further in front, the Storm, before half-time. That is exactly what Reece Walsh did, is Jerome Hughes did. He said, I'm going to stand up here and I'm going to single-handedly throw them all off the wrong leg. Bang. Left. He was on the right. He right side step, left again. Bang. Hunt couldn't stop him. So elusive. He didn't win Dalian for nothing. Look, he had 3 or 4 players, including Catherine Hetherington, on his wrong leg there. And he had Reece Walsh bamboozled. Oh, dude. And then just had to run at that angle, and there was no one there in the middle of the post. That's a bit of magic from a guy who was in doubt to play the rest of the season. Jerome Hughes. Well, 20 points to 12. There may be another try before halftime, the way this game's going. At least it's entertaining. It's not like watching paint dry last year with that incredible defensive effort from the Penrith Panthers over Melbourne Storm. That was really hard to watch with minimal amount of tries. At least there's a lot of entertainment in this match. But both 2 individual outstanding performances already from both sides. Reece Walsh stood up and said, watch me from the 20-metre mark, 20 metres out. And that sidestep of Jerome Hughes had them all on the wrong foot, including big Kobe Hetherington. Now I'm thinking that's the wrong. Let me just set the fish now. I'm sure it's the right electronic box. For some reason it's not turning on. Damn. Okay. Back to the match here. It's 22-12 with a 10-point buffer here. Melbourne, just before halftime, 3 minutes to go. They've got a nice back line here across their own 40. It's a little bit of a forward pass there, but it continues on to Warbrick. Warbrick's caught just out of halfway, across halfway, and now pushing down towards the 40-metre mark. Nearly to the 30 is Pappenhausen. And that's a big up and under here. It's going straight to Reece Walsh, or who is that? Is that Dean Mariner? Can't quite see from here. Yeah, it was Dean Mariner. Now, Broncos caught in their own 10 here, trying to work it out. Shibasaki goes for the run. Oh, that was actually Karapani. Now Shibasaki goes for the next one. Caught there by Meany. Good run there by number 16, Xavier Willison. Ezra Mann's finally on. Big kick here. Goes down to the 10-metre mark, but no pressure. And Melbourne come away. Tried to put a little goose step on there, Xavier Coates, but it didn't work out. Bit of a run from Wishart. Takes the first hit up. We've got 1.5 minutes left. And that's Munster, is it? Munster goes for a run up the centre, looking for Pappy. Pappenhausen worked left and right there, looking for runners. Harry Grant's calling for players. Wishart nearly gets through the gap. Just picked up there by number 17 for the Broncos. And this is a big kick and big pressure. This time Walsh gets it, does he not? Oh! Oh! Is that a knock on to Ezra Mann? I can't see. Nope. It must have come off a Melbourne hand. Ezra Mann gets the ball. 3 or 4 metres out from the line. They've got 45 seconds left. Fives Broncos will be trying to just keep the ball and get it downfield. And there's big Xavier Willison goes for a run. Perkura's been swapped over onto the bench. And nice hands from Broncos here. They've found Mam to Staggs. Staggs nearly wrestled to the ground again twice by Wishart. They're only going to have 14 seconds left here. They're going for a Hail Mary. Shibasaki. Is he through? Shibasaki's through. Big run by Shiba. 10 seconds. What are they going to do here? Inside to Xavier Willison. Great defence from Melbourne. And Xavier can't get over. That is half time, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have a coffee. Thanks for joining us here on Every Point's a Winner. We'll come back and talk about the stats. Hang on. Yep, that is half time. Why have I lost power to that? Where the fuck is that one going? Why is it not? I'm not getting any power. Is that true there? No. Fuck. Let's swap the journey. So that's that. But where's it going to? Come up and around here. Fuck. Oh man, it's fucking. Can't hold it down. I don't know why I'm not getting power from it. Fuck. Oh, come on. Jesus. I'll come back and sort it out. Fuck that. I don't know why that's not turning on. Sort of though I'm not getting power. Fuck that. Not too far away for the second. A little bit of egg. Egg with some energy. I don't know why I can't get that on the computer up. It's got full power. Okay. Let's have a look at the stats, eh? Okay. Far out, man. I lost one of my main computers here with the players on it. Lucky I know most of them, plus I got my phone here. Damn freaking computers. Right. We'll have a look at the stats here. Time and possession, 46% Broncos, 54% more to Melbourne there. Time and possession. So completion rate, 83% Broncos, 100% Storm. So faultless at this point in time. Let's have a look at the line breaks too. One line break each. Tackle breaks 4 each. So it's fairly even though there's 10 points in it at half time, with Melbourne in a good advantage here. Kick return meters, 48 to 20, 43 to 28. Let's have a look at the individual players here. Let's see, who did most of the top tacklers here. Okay, same stats. Player stats is what we're after. So we'll go across to the tacklers. Line breaks. All right. Geez, I don't think it's updated it very well. This is surprising if this is the case. Hang on. Tackles. Harry Grant 10. Sean Ball 6. Elise Qatar 6. Trent Leo 9. This doesn't look like it's updating. We'll go across to the other one. No, it hasn't, because it hasn't updated from the damn score. Unbelievable. Didn't think that was right. Okay. Tackles. Here we go. Nick Mooney 11. Stefano Utogamano 10. Harry Grant 21. A lot of work there, Harry. Josh King 15. Sean Blaw 12. Elise Katoa 14. Trent Liero 22, getting through a mountain of work. Now let's go across to the Broncos. Broncos top tacklers here. I would imagine it'd be Carrigan. Carrigan 22. Corey Pikes 21. Tyson Smoothie was number 17 who went on, because I lost my computer here. It just won't reboot up. And yet it seems to be getting the amount of power that it needs to boot up. Damn it. No, even if we put control, alternate delete. Anyway, so Ezra Mann, 1 tackle, Tyson Smoothie, 13. Really, so far it has just been fairly even, but on that stat, you have to say Melbourne are on top, not only on the scoreboard, but also in the stats there. Just looking at a few other ones here. Yeah, so I mean, it's only like 9% difference in possession, but the completion rate is fantastic. 95 to 89. And the post-contact meter is superb by Melbourne. Anyway, what do you think? Do you think it's going to go down to the wire? Let me just continue on before we get a kick-off. I'll just finish some egg. There's some protein. So just pour it to me before half-time. Thanks for joining us for the grand final. Scotty be a little bit nervous with the Broncos being 10 points behind. It's not as though they can't come from behind, but it's all about momentum shifts. Who's going to get that adrenaline rush off the momentum? Oh my God, this egg's really nice. I can't say the same thing about my players running on computer. They seem to be getting power, but it won't reboot. All right. We're still showing adverts. We're not far from a kick-off. And that was damn nice. Thank you, eggs. Thank you, farmers. Thank you, egg farmers. Fix that up later. Have a little bit of coffee. Thanks for joining us on Every Point's a Winner. I'm trying to shake that glare off. I don't know why that computer won't work. I have no freaking clue why it won't work. I mean, it's getting direct power. Just won't turn on. All right. Still adverts, but anyway. So looking at those stats, the forced dropouts, they forced Broncos once. I think what the Broncos need to do here is put a lot more pressure on when they got the ball, rather than always going for that winning play. I think they've got to put more pressure on the opposition, and at least try and get a repeat set of six. Because if you're not going to pressure for Melbourne the way they're playing at the moment, where they're not scared to just throw the ball around, you're not going to keep them in their own half. They're going to cause a lot of collateral damage, no doubt about it. But we'll get the colours back on again. There you go. That'll do. Bit of blue and white. Okay. We are 40 minutes away from one of these teams being ruled the ultimate premiers, even though Canberra won the minor premiership. They did fairly well this year. And the most exciting thing that as they gather around, all holding hands, like some communal, but they're listening to instructions as well and psyching themselves into it for the second half here, Melbourne Storm. So they are asking Max Maguire what he needs to do. Well, I'll give them one bit of advice. Try and get Katoni Staggs a couple of balls and put him through a gap. I think he's the guy that could change the match. Him or Ezra Mann. I'd really leave it up to Ezra Mann to try and cause some damage here. All right. So let's piss off. Okay, the players are now out waiting for the kickoff. We've got a computer down here so far. And at the moment, the Broncos have got a bit of a computer down. They need to get their act together. It's a kickoff and it goes straight down to Munster. And now Melbourne are playing it from the kickoff. And Josh King takes a run up to the edge of the 20-metre mark here. A nice run there from Trent Liero. Takes it up to the 30. Harry Grant looking for runners. Nice run there from Trent Liero. Not quite to the halfway here. It's about the 43-metre mark on the fifth tackle, and that's Pappenhausen with a run. Runs very similar style to Munster. Probably a little bit quicker though. Well, that's just going to. Is that? Oh, he caught it back inside there. Is that? That's Karapani on that wing. Plays the ball. He's going to get a penalty though. Oh no, he's going to play the ball from the mark. 20 metres out from their own line. That's Karapani with a run. Shibasaki, should I say? And then Karapani. And that's Dean Mariner that's gone for a bit of a run. So all the wingers are coming up for a hit-up. It looks like Brendan Piakura is back on. And Ezra Mann with a nice pass there. But well taken. Shibasaki was taken by Nick Meaney there in a really good ball. That's out in the full. Out in the full from Adam Reynolds, not the desired result when you're 10 points behind Adam Reynolds. Yeah, I think that's definitely where he didn't want it to go. You could see his eyes change as it come off the side of his boot. Big run there from Utokamano. Twisted as he played the ball. Big run there from, is that Nick Meaney? Can't quite see the number. No, it's Munster. They take it down 30 metres out here, putting a lot of pressure on. And this was all from that kick out that was out in the full. Reynolds has put his team under immense pressure here. And there's pressure on all here. Big run there. Who is that? Is that Utokamano? It's gone the blind with Wishart, but they're onto it, especially Katoni Staggs. Harry Grant. Munster. Number 16, Tui Kamakameka scored. He's just come on. No, Munster doesn't look convinced that this is a try. For Munster to be saying the four-letter word, he's dropped it clearly. Jeez. So thank goodness there for Reece Walsh, who unsettled him with the ball. He sort of grabbed his arm and Reece Walsh let that ball to Kamakameka drop the ball from about 2 feet away. What are they looking at now? Grant Atkins is looking for something more than what happened, has he? No, he's just dropped the ball clearly. There's clear separation. So I don't know what they're looking at. Clear separation. Of course, it's no try. Okay, now it should be Broncos with the tap. Yes, it is. Big Willison caught there inside their own 30, just over their 33-metre mark here. Patrick Garrigan takes a hit up. Nice run by Kobe Hetherington. I need to get that team list back as well, since I've lost that left computer here. Now, Broncos trying to hit back. It's the 36 minutes to go. We're only 4 minutes into the second half. Broncos from their 30 metres out here, trying to get the try back to. Oh, what a take! Someone's nearly gone over. Oh, what's he done to his arm, Ryan Pappenhausen here? He's gone up like an AFL player. Oof, oof, oof. He's lucky he didn't break his arm or break his shoulder. He's so high up above there. Oh, I know. His shoulder takes all the brunt. Well, he's a tough one. He'll survive, but lucky it wasn't on the point of the shoulder. It might have dislocated the shoulder. So he's a lucky boy there. And now, first tackle goes to the Broncos. Certainly open it up here. Broncos score. They've gone the opposite side to where I thought they'd go. I thought they'd be looking for man through a gap. They might find him now, Ezra Man. Nope. They've got it to Shibasaki, and Shibasaki might have gone over here. Is that not Shibasaki? Germad Shibasaki, who scored the easiest of tries there for Broncos. And as Scotty predicted, this high-scoring match is full of tries. If you've got Shibasaki, I think he was about $2.75, Shibasaki. He wasn't that much, or maybe $2.50, being a regular try scorer, Shibasaki. Ezra Mann's nice pass to Shibasaki. He sort of drew in Meaney a little bit, and Warbrick just couldn't hold him out. So a bit of a hit back there, and that's what they needed, the Broncos, to stay in the match, stay in touch. Meaney hit him as hard as he could, but he didn't have enough backup. And he tried to jolt the ball through, but he's a strong player, Germad Shibasaki. And now they're in a circle. They are 6 points behind. There's quick hands from and Ezra Man definitely felt like he sucked in Hughes and the other player that was found wanting that I'd already mentioned. Oh, who's missed that? Someone's missed the goal there. I don't know who it was. Was it Reynolds? It wasn't an easy attempt. The fact it was scored out in the flanks, but grand finals, every point's a winner. Every point counts, especially when you're 6 points behind. It should give Broncos a bit of venom. In any case, as the commercial TV rolls on, we're one computer down. I just lost all power to it, even though I was getting a power source to it. It decided that the power source wasn't even going to work. And even though I'm holding the button down to reboot it, That's a waste of time. So we've only got this little baby to go off here for any important team changes. So right at the moment, it is Broncos on their 20-metre mark. Coming up to play the ball is Kobe Hetherington. And now to the 30. Broncos on the third tackle. And Kobe's had another run, has he? Yeah, Kobe Hetherington. And now it's someone with blonde hair. I can't quite see who that is. But it's a kick down towards the centre. And that could be Will Warbrick. I'm not 100% sure. We'll have a look at his head in a minute when he gets up to play the ball. We can only call what the camera's showing. I think it was Warbrick. Oh, no. Adam Reynolds is limping like he's got a torn ligament. That is not good. It looks like he can't even put any pressure on it. Well, it's not the end of the world, but that'd be a big blow to them if they lost Adam Reynolds. Oh, has his knee gone or his hammy? He looks short in his action there, but anyway, we're soon going to find out what's happened to him. Big kick downfield by Melbourne. We are 31 minutes out, still only early in the second part of the half. Can you believe it? We've only played 9 minutes of this second half. Been a little bit stop and start. So Katoni Staggs goes for the run there with his luminous yellow boots. And now spinning it out, Ezra Mann, looking for runners. Big tackle on by Hughes on Reece Walsh. Kobe Hetherington nearly got through, got his arms free. Ezra Mann nearly broke away. That would have been a good thing. Nearly broke away. They're pressing Broncos. Someone's jumped up high there. Oh, he's knocked it on. Carrigan's fully knocked it on there. So it is what it is. Can't even get the team list here. It's only giving me team stats. So I can't even get the page I want. Here we go. So, team list. That's all I want. Thank you. Just to make sure we don't miss an interchange player here. What's happened here? Here's from Mann. Big hit from Harry Grant. Has he given a penalty away here, Harry? I think he's given a penalty away on Ezra Mann. Oh, no. That's not a good sight. He's either torn the hamstring again. He's been carried off like a chair, like a Roman chair, carrying a pharaoh off to the pyramids. Big trouble for Broncos now. Will that make them lift without Adam Reynolds' kicking game? Have they got enough with Walsh and also Hunt? Now the big fella Willison tries to burst his way through. Storm holding onto a 6-point lead here. Were they looking for Katoni Staggs? They've gone the wrong way. That was Biakura. They should have handed out to Katoni Staggs out wide. Wrapped up on the 5th tackle here. What are they going to do? They've come the blind. There's a man with a little chip through, and that'll be a dropout from Harry. From Pappy. Yeah, could work. Could work from Ezra Mann. Nice little chip through. I forgot he's got a little bit of a kicking game. And Pappy was caught in his own try line there. So, good work chased by Shibasaki. A short drop out. And cleaning up there for Broncos, it hasn't worked out too good for Melbourne, was Ben Hunt. Gordon Rickey. Jordan Rickey takes it up. Takes it up there to the 10-metre mark. They're trying with Willison again, exactly like last week. But Josh King's onto him. And so is Munster. Now they're nice and wide here. Jinking back is Reece Walsh. He's trying to find a gap. They're letting him run a bit, though. This is dangerous. He's found Ezra Mann. Ezra Mann looking for a break, and he can't break the big forwards there of Katoa and Sean Blaw. Now, Katoni Staggs. Oh, that was Jordan Rickey. He's also got the Illuminous boots on. Trying to give it to Willison, bursting over, but he's held up again. They're onto his game from last week because he scored a cracking try exactly like that. Now, that's the third tackle. Storm are having their whole defence try. Tony Staggs with a late pass. There's a man. They're 3 or 4 metres out here. Hunt looks around. They've lost Reynolds. Big pass out here. Reece Walsh has thrown a... No, it's disallowed. There was something that went on there. It either looked forward. There was a knock on. It was mile forward. So the ball, yeah, was 10 metres. It was at least 2 metres forward from where, yeah. Yeah, he knew it too. The words forward pass just came out of his mouth. The coach there, Reece Walsh, was looking half excited and soon realised it was going to be a Melbourne play the ball. Now, Melbourne, about 13 metres out from their own line. Thanks for joining us here on Every Point's a Winner. Some people will be well under the weather at this stage, but I just hope the best side wins this game. Melbourne still with that 1 try advantage. He's looking a bit worse for wear there. Xavier Willison gets to his feet slowly. Melbourne trying to work it to halfway on the 4th tackle. There's still 28 minutes left. Big pass out here. Meany. Oh, they've had the ball shunted out by Ezra Mann. Beautiful work. And now that's Piakura with the ball. He played the ball to Ezra Mann. Ezra Mann spun it out, and there's a few hit-ups there from the wingers. And they got up to the 40-metre mark, the Broncos here. Nice run from Haas, who's back on. Payne Haas. Possibly brought on at the right time. They're still getting the ball out like basketball passes. Ezra Mann with a lovely pass. Giving it to, is that Piakura? It's held up. Yes, it was. Now, Kobe Hetherington with a run. Big Kobe. Hunt at a dummy half. Fifth tackle. What are they going to do here? They go for the wide pass, and someone's come off the wing, and Dean Marrin has gone in. That's awful defence from Melbourne. There was a massive gap out wide, and it was a rocket pass. I don't know. We need to have a look and see who passed it. Ezra Mann came. Oh, they're showing the replay from before. Yeah, when he knocked it out of his hand, Ezra Mann standing over him like a ghoul. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that pass. Someone's come off the wing. Will Warbrick has come off the wing, I think. Let's have a look at this. There's Wishart. Oh no, that's Coates. Coates not even looking where the winger was. Bad communication there from Melbourne. Dean Mariner, is that his second try? I think it is. Unless one of them was disallowed, I think it's his second try. Well, it's a bit hard. We've got computers missing here. They've gone on the blink on the grand final. And right now, it could be 22 all. Yeah, it is Dean Mariner's second try. 1 to Walsh, 2 to Mariner, 1 to Shibasaki, 1 to Warbrick, 1 to Katoa, 1 to Meany, 1 to Jerome Hughes. You got it? Just missed it. So still with a 2-point lead, Storm here. Still 23 minutes left. Who deserves to win this game? Who actually deserves to win it? It's been fairly even. And every time you think Broncos are buried, Melbourne do something ridiculously stupid and invite them back in the match. There's something really weak about their defence out on the flanks there, and Dean Mariner's exposed it twice. Major concern for the super coach, Craig Bellamy. They haven't even showed a picture of him so far, from what I've seen. They just keep on showing pictures of Madge. Is that Reece Walsh with a lucky bounce, or is that Kobe Hetherington? That's Kobe. Yep, it was. And now Jordan Ricky takes the ball up about 15 metres out from their own line. Pressing on here. There's Big Payne Haas, like a steam train, nearly to the 30. Ezra Mann nearly broke away from a few tacklers there. Utokamano missed him and Liero cleaned up for him. They're going to go wide here again to that weakness. Oh, that's awful defence. Staggs back inside, finds the winger in Mariner. Mariner and Staggs, I thought they were going to work a 1-2-1-2 there and score. Broncos looking severely dangerous here. Shibasaki! Shibasaki! He might have won it for the Broncos here. That is a phenomenal try. But whoever held the pass up was an Ezra Mann who held that pass up. It was like a one-handed pass to him. It was slightly in front of him, so he had to lean forward. Let's have a look at it again. Great hands. That pass here to Shibasaki. Who was that big cutout? We still can't see who it was. Here we go. We'll get a better look at it. Was it Reece Walsh again? Surely not. He's drawing in. Yeah, yes, it is. Yes, it was. It was a little bit in front of him, so he had to take it out in front of him. But he's a strong player. And Nick Meaney's defence was found wanting again. And Will Warbrick, very weak. Broncos, if they go on to win this grand final, they truly deserve it. They truly, truly deserve it. They've hit the lead now, 24 points to 22. And to get a little bit of a understanding, there's still 20 minutes left. A lot of instructions being barked, and that'd be Shibasaki's second try, would it not? Yes, all these double try scorers today. If you put them on as a double try scorer, congratulations, because you get much better odds. But so, of course, it's a high risk, especially if the game is going to be tight. But Scotty picked it that there was going to be many tries scored in this game because they're both flary attacking sides. Melbourne really need to bunker down here and go back to what was working for them in the first half, because Broncos do now have all the momentum going forward, and that's come around like a spin bowler from spin ball from 10-pin bowling, where they spin it left or spin it right. Beautiful kick. there from Reece Walsh. He's up and walking at least, but he's got it fully bandaged up. I'd say he's torn his calf muscle there. It's all strapped around his calf. Could still be exacerbated from the hamstring as well. You couldn't put any pressure on it. Had to be carried from the field. Hasn't seemed to have dampened their spirits. They're leading 26 to 22. There's only one try the difference. Gordon Rickey. Jordan takes it not quite to the edge of the red zone. And that's Carrigan, right on the edge of the red zone. Third tackle, big run from Haas. Melbourne have gone soft in some of their defence plays here. Man, Nelly gets a player through the gap here. It was Piakura. Mam's causing all sorts of damage out there, as I predicted. This ball should go to Melbourne here. Oh, dangerous pass. But it's worked out all right for Elise Katoa. And now he'll play the ball just about 14, 15 metres out from their own line. It is Wishart. I thought he might have had a few more changes on the bench. I think he needs a few changes in Melbourne, honestly. Big run there from Elise Katoa. And a solid run by Meaney after his poor defence from that last play. Jerome Hughes. And they spin it out wide here. Pappenhausen. Oh, it was an awful inside pass to Munster, was it? I can't say. It might have been Wishart who dropped it. But it was an awful inside pass. It was too readable. Katoni Staggs nearly broke away. Just caught by Wishart over the halfway now. They're about 33 metres out from the line here. 43 metres out from the line as they're pressing on. So there's a man with a run. No, it is Karapani. Josiah. Nearly to the 30. Broncos really making good ground with these hit-ups. Payne Harris is pushing players left, right and centre. Wow, like a battering ram. Ezra Man tries to put a little kick in there, but that's... I think Jordan Rickey's ended up with it, but it's a turnover. He looked like he's going to get through himself there, Ezra Man. He's so elusive. Xavier Coates, he came off his wing for one of those tries over in the far corner. Like, they've done some areas you wouldn't see from Melbourne normally, but this is what high pressure games do to you. There's got to be a lot of psychological trauma here if they don't hit back. It's only one try the difference, but now they're the ones playing chase-up football in the last 17 and a half minutes. That's heaps of time. Inside pass there to Katoa, was it? Let's see who's got the ball. No, it was Meaney. Someone's put a big kick up there to chase Reece Walsh, but I think Reece has got it. And he's running it out here. No, it was Dean Mariner. Now Reece Walsh goes into dummy half. Good run from Walsh. They've been working well at the back from the big kicks of Melbourne. Oh, don't play for a penalty. Get up and play it, Reece. Come on. Get up and play it. Oh no! I just hope they don't get a penalty out of this. It's play the ball. That's the way we want to see it. And thanks, Atkins, for letting the game flow a bit. Okay. Third tackle now. Broncos are caught in their own 35-metre mark here. Now to the 40. Not quite to halfway, up to the fourth tackle. They'll need a big kick here, I'd imagine, unless they get a break. Madge is quite excited now that they're 4 points in front, but he's still on the edge of his seat like everyone else. Big kick. This time it goes down to Will Warbrick, is it? Yep, Warbrick. It's hit once or twice like a battering ram, and Ezra Mann pulls him down again. And now taking it up is that Munster. I can't quite see from here. No, it's Meaney again. Done a lot of good hit-ups, Meaney, but he's done some ordinary stuff in defence. Pappenhausen had a run, nearly to the 30. Oh, here he goes. Is that Coates? Coates with a bit of elusivity moving through at the 40-metre mark there. Is that Katoa with a run? No, that's Trent Liero. Hughes. His kicks haven't been as effective of late, and that's going down no one's throat. It's gone right into Karapani, I believe. Yeah, Karapani. And running across field here is Hunt. He's found Staggs. Staggs nearly got away, just caught by Wishart again. Oh, I'd like to see that in action. Melbourne holding on for dear life. It's the third tackle. They're inside. They've got 40 metres to travel to score, Broncos here, but they've only got 3 tackles to do it in. 40 metres out. What are they going to do? They're nice and deep. Ezra Mann tried to throw a dummy, but no one fell for it. And Trent Liero did the tackle. Little chip through there from Hunt, is it? Can't see. And now Brian Pappenhausen works it out just on the edge of his red zone for the first tackle. It's got into a bit of a Forsling's back match here. Forsling's back. It's your 6, my 6, your 6, my 6. Nothing much happening. Is there a game breaker that changes this grand final? Both sides are open to anything happening here. Anything. We've still got 14 and a half minutes left. There's heaps of time on the clock for either side. Melbourne pressing down here. Not the pass that Will Warbrick or Coates wanted, and that's going to go out. Awful. Will Warbrick it was. That's awful there. When you're under pressure and you're chasing, that pass was never on from Katoa or whoever threw it. It might have been Liero. We have to have a look at the numbers, but it's gone straight between his toes. And Ezra Mann was never not going to push him out into touch, like every good player. Oh, can imagine the expletives coming from Craig Bellamy's mouth now, but there's still enough time for both teams left. But they're going to have to tackle here because Broncos are getting a little bit of field ascendancy. They're nearly to the halfway. It's only the first tackle. Someone's been asked to go to the head bin. I don't know who it is. We'll have a drink while we wait for that to happen. Could be Karapani, is it? Karapani been asked to have a HIA assessment. And Big Xavier Willison's come back on. Okay. He's knocked it on there. First tackle has. Either that or he didn't play the ball properly. Well, it might have evened things up in the karma department after that bad decision a couple of plays ago. It is 5 errors to 3. And really, you can't. You can play it like that, but you're not supposed to. And they've cracked down on that all year long. So there's no excuse there. A little bit lazy there from Payne Haas. Melbourne with a bit of an advantage here, just into the half of the Broncos. Brian Pappenhausen sees a gap. Who's with him? Is he going to go himself? He's passed an inside flick that's gone to Melbourne, to to Shibasaki. Shibasaki, Katoni Stags. Oh, that was try for all certainty had he picked it up, but he should have went to ground with it. Goodness gracious, it was only the first or second tackle. What the hell? Zero tackle. The adrenaline that must have been rushing through Ryan Pappenhausen's veins. But he tried to do too much of a psychopathic inside flick, and the guy was not ready for it, whoever it was. Payne takes it down nearly to halfway, about 5 metres before halfway on the fourth tackle. Gordon Rickey with a good run. Jordan Rickey nearly gets it to the 40-metre mark of Melbourne. And now on the last tackle, that's Hunt with a big kick, but it's going to go straight down into Warbrick's hands, is it? I can't see who it is. It is Warbrick. Oh, hit him a bit high, but I think he's going to be all right. They just showed that inside flick. Oh, no. It just didn't pay off. Not everyone's a Benji Marshall. Oh, he's put an elbow in there, Willison. He got away with it. Gave him a nice little facial massage. And now getting to the 40-metre mark, is it? By the 30-metre mark. Melbourne side. Nice and deep here, Melbourne. They're going to need a little bit more impetus. They're not running as strong as what they should. And Wishart looks a little bit gassed to me. Going from a 40-20 is not going to pay off. Oh, did he knock it on? Is that a knock on? Nope. That's Reece Walsh with the ball. Must have used his feet to stop it. I think they're one of those awkward bouncing moments. And now we are inside the last 10 minutes and 30 seconds. Storm. 4 points behind the Broncos here. Ezra Mann tried to run from dummy half, passes it off the ground because he's not held. Gives it to Xavier Willison. Good run from Payne Haas. Payne Haas gets down nearly to their 30-metre mark. On the fifth tackle, Hunt puts it up. Going into the corner towards Pappenhausen. Pappenhausen tries to run it back. It's a head-high shot. That's got to be a relieving penalty. It's a head-high. Carrigan. He might have fallen into it a little bit, but he's going to get a bit of Munster's laying down the law here because now there's only 9.5 minutes left. I don't know whether they've got the attacking flair to win this game, Melbourne. They just haven't got those superstar players that Broncos have got to score from anywhere. Well, Hughes did it in the first half, but they haven't looked very good in the second half at all, Melbourne. The word I like to use is they're a little bit listless. And now there's more pressure on these passes to stick because they're playing catch-up football and they have to score next. Harry Grant out of dummy half. Nearly to their 40. Big run there. Looks like number 15's on. Oh, no. Hunt is listless. He's nearly falling over here. Hang on. He's going to have a HIA, Hunt. He's very dizzy. He's caught him. Reece Walsh has caught him. Yeah, he's just tackled him the wrong way there, Hunt. He's gone in low and he's seeing stars. He's going to have to go to a HIA. And is that a turning point? They've lost two of their main kickers in Hunt and he's got to go off HIA. He's dizzy as hell. Wow. What a climactic ending, like all the finals have been. Who are they actually going to replace him with here? Well, they're getting word from Madge, who's actually going to come on and replace Hunt. Giving him a pretty good club, or Benny Hunt, or he comes up for an assessment. Just looking at this reserve player for Melbourne. Oh, Lasardi's come on. Okay, who else is this? This is Lasardi. It's come on from Melbourne, but someone's come on to replace. Is it Corey Pikes? I can't tell. Melbourne have got the ball though, and they're only 20 metres out here. Ryan Pappenhausen. Have they got the star players to score here? He's lost the ball, Pappenhausen. Oh, that was the fifth tackle. Okay. I'm looking down at the marker here and it said first tackle. All right. So changeover on the 20. There's the man went into dummy half then. And now that's it is Corey Pikes in the dummy half there. Carrigan. 7.5 minutes left. Broncos with a 4-point advantage. And they're going to rely on a good kicking game here, but it's gone straight into Ryan Pappenhausen's hands by the looks of it. And Pappy brings it back there. Short of the 30-metre mark, is it not? Yep, just past the 30-metre mark. Nearly to the 40, not quite to halfway. Have they got a player that can burst clear here? I don't know. Harry Grant. Jerome Hughes. Inside flick there from Pappenhausen to Meaney, but it's very readable. They're doing nothing else. I think they need to step outside the box here. Harry Grant runs from dummy half, looking for runners. Who's he found? Out wide here. Ty Wishar's not going to go anywhere. Not when he runs straight into Jordan Ricky. It's a fifth tackle, and that's not such a great kick there unless you contest it. Will they get 6 more here? No. Broncos have dived on it. And coming up with the ball there is number 17. Fuck. Number 17. Broncos have the ball. Tyson Smoothie came on to sub out for Hunt. Big run there from Piakura. Ezra Mam gives it on to Tyson Smoothie. Oh, that was Corey Jensen. Oh, out wide here. Oh, he's offside, is he not? Ricky. Thrown it back inside. I think he was forward and offside. So anyway, that play soon broke down. Someone actually overran the ball and it was just broke down from that moment in time. Okay. Melbourne have got a long way to travel, 5 minutes. A long way to travel to put pressure on the Broncos. You think they'd hold on like a grizzly bear, a really hungry grizzly bear here to try and stop Melbourne. Now, here's a run here from Pappy. Gives it. Is he inside, Pappy? Can he get the ball away? He can't. He did the right thing, I'd imagine. Pappenhausen goes in the dummy half. Oh, he's dropped the ball clearly there, Stefano Utokomano. And running away is Shibasaki. Is that play on? Yep. Now he's called it back. I reckon he's got a word from the bunker there or someone. He's called the ball back. What's this decision going to be? I think Broncos may have a challenge left anyway. What's happened here? Oh, his head was in the way. Oh, and then he got a shoulder charge from Mann. There's going to be a Captain challenge here. They had one left. This is really, really important to both sides. There's 4 minutes left, 4 points in it. Okay. If it's Broncos feed here, if it is Broncos, what's going on here? He definitely got shoulder jammed there by Ezra Mann. But who's got the ball here? Munster and Pappenhausen screaming. The game's on the line. Hughes is giving instructions. Will they get the ball here, Melbourne, by the looks of it? He's got to run back to get the ball. Well, this is given a chance. Virtually, I would say, one of their last chances. They might have one more shot at the dice, but if they're going to do it, they need to do it now, Melbourne. Too readable there, Munster. Way too readable. And there's that Lasardi that came on. It's Alec McDonald who's on. Hughes, Pappenhausen. They're too readable, these players. It's like they run out of ideas. But they get another penalty. 3.5 minutes left. Basically, coming up with the one finger there was Carrigan saying we just got one more to survive here. Now, 5 metres, 10 metres out from the line. Tokomano trying to get over. He's caught here 3 metres out from the line. They're spinning it wide. Munster with a little jig. He finds Harry. Harry tries to go himself. 2.5 minutes left. Second tackle. Broncos holding on for dear life. Jerome Hughes gets it out and he's out, I think. Great defence for the Broncos. I think they got it won. Awful play from Melbourne, and they're just totally bamboozled what to do. There was nothing on out wide, really. It was so readable there from Dean Mariner. He read it easily. He didn't have to do much. He's just got to pick him up at the top. Katoni Staggs comes in the middle. Bang, and you're out. You're out, Xavier. And unless, there's a Barney, you knew it'd be on. Trent Liero's come up with a high shot. Carrigan didn't like it. There's 2 minutes left exactly in the game. And mad melee. Carrigan and Liero, there's spit flying everywhere. Tyson Smoothie tries to smooth it over. Congratulations, the boys from Space Giants. Big ticket riding on the Broncos here. I can't see them losing this. And there was a high shot from slightly high there from Qatar, so this has got to be a penalty to the Broncos. And that'll be all she wrote. Mandy White. Hello, Mandy. Broncos to win. A big hello, Mandy. I'm looking forward to that. What will I have? I'll have a Magnum since I won my bet. Thank you. A honeycomb Magnum. What's going on here? He's on report and he's in the bin. Trent Liero. Won't see the end of the game anyway. Slightly early shower there from Trent Liero. Well, Broncos virtually have got it won. I can't believe it. They just really haven't offered anything, this Melbourne side. When Hughes lifted in that first part of the first half, the backside of that first half, I thought they're on to win this today. But I always liked the Broncos. I had 3 players to score for the Broncos and only 2 players to score for Melbourne. And now they've just got to play a simple game. I can't, unless there's a crazy intercept, I don't think they're going to play it that. They're just going to play it one out, take it up, tackle, and they'll try and slide down with a kick into touch at some stage. Broncos working it over the halfway here. Big run by Reece Walsh. Wouldn't it be fitting if Katoni Staggs scored the winning try here? But they've got a long way to go to get out to his flank. They need to go right as possible. And Pikes goes in there. Big Payne has bootlace tackled by Harry Grant. That's how to tackle a big man. And nice tackle there from Melbourne. They might get one more shot at it. 1 minute left. They've got to travel 90 metres to win this game. And I doubt it's going to happen. Broncos will throw everything at them to win this premiership. Vengeance for 2023. Hang on. Have we spoken too soon? It was a great run by Munster. He's trying to single-handedly pull them back from the grave. Now, out to Hughes. Pappenhausen. Who's away? It's Ali Katama. Pappenhausen's with him and he got smashed by... Is it Reece Walsh? What a tackle. Smashed him. 14 seconds left. Time's got to be blown off. What the hell's going on here? Now he's saying he's got a cramp or he's pulled a hammy. Beautiful read by Reece Walsh. He's got to get the man of the match. They're gone here. 2 seconds. If it's not done here, it's not done at all. It's impossible. Then there's an intercept play, and that's all she wrote, straight into Jordan Rickey's hands, and they've done it. Broncos have won the 2025 Grand Final. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us here. They fully deserve it. One of our mates had a $6,000 ticket. Congratulations. Our other mate that does the program with us here, Scotty, would be jumping for joy. He'd be crying like a baby with his sister. Come on. You can cry like a man, but don't cry like a baby. Well done, Broncos. You fully deserved it. Reece Walsh will be the man of the match, undoubtedly. The tackle, when Katoa was clear, and all he had is that one pass, and he tried to suck it in, Reece Walsh had to make a decision. I'll stay between the two of them, and I'm going to take a punt, and I'm going to tackle. I'm going to tackle Pappenhausen, who might have scored under the post. So that was the winning tackle of the game. But his individual 20-metre try in the first half was so unbelievable that had me gobsmacked. He is lifted to an extra pinnacle. They lost Reynolds to injury, and the calf muscle probably tore totally. And then everyone was out on their feet. They lost another player, and they had to replace him. Benny Hunt had to go off for HIA, and I'm sure he'd be so happy. And Ezra Mann, after his bad social experience, will be feeling a little bit compensated. There's no excuse for what he did, but I'm sure he'll be compensated with a win with his favourite team, the Broncos. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that'll be about it for 2023 for us. I've got a saxophone to play. I've got songs to write. if we do bring any games from the Pacific Cup, we'll let you know about it. But thanks very much for subscribing. Thanks for liking. Thanks for if you're short of rugby league through the holiday season. Now that it's over and the Pacific Championships are over, you've got a lot of games to listen to whilst you're doing some knitting in the background or whatever you're doing, washing or sweeping the floor. All right, guys, thanks very much. It's Axel Phillips. For now, love you all and congratulations on Brisbane Broncos, who won both the females and the males NRLW and NRL proper.